ladies and gentlemen. It's Moses, and welcome back to Build Curious. Our plan for today is to create a share house. Initially, I was thinking perhaps like separate apartments and things like that, but I think maybe it'll be a little bit more interesting both in building, also perhaps even gameplay, if we focus on creating a share house. So that's going to mean shared living space and private rooms. The idea that I have in terms of like the style of the building, I'm thinking something kind of modern, but still traditional, like a brick face, but like, I don't know, like an updated version, some like big open windows and steel frames, something like that. I'm not too sure. We'll kind of work it out as we go. So, as always, first things first, let's box out our shape. All right, so we're kind of sitting with something that I think is doable. Um, so we've got our building here, and it's on a elevated platform. I kind of would have liked the steps to go up a little bit more gradually, but I wasn't quite sure how to use these platforms without making the walls end up being lower. If that makes sense? Probably not. But anyways, one thing I really need to keep in mind as we build this is kind of like where the rooms are going to go, where the entrance will be, and so on and so forth. I'm thinking, at least for the top floor, I know I definitely want some rooms up top here. Maybe, because I feel like this would be kind of a cool balcony. But also, it would be kind of cool if it was part of the shared living space, like attached to the dining room or something, the living room area. I don't know. That's a tough one, actually. But before we get, I think, into too much details, let's finish up creating our box shape here. So in my head, I'm thinking that the windows are going to kind of determine, at least for me, a lot about this building, including the interior. I don't know if you've watched, I think it was Big Daddy with Adam Sandler. He lived in this like really weird apartment and it had kind of windows like these. And I'm imagining like the same kind of style of apartment, like things just don't make sense. This is without a doubt a change in direction. So we've definitely ended up with something completely different to what I had in mind, but I'm actually kind of happy where this is going. I'm a little stumped as to where the rest of the windows should be going because I realized we are going to have to do quite a bit of planning. We need to have at least 6 rooms, and these are going to be fairly small because they'll just have bedrooms in them, right? And then we'll need to do like some public spaces as well. So I think what I'm going to do on the ground floor, well, throughout the building actually, is start kind of mapping out where I want each room to be. At the moment, I'm not really sure. I've gone around and added all the windows. We've got the entrance, and then directly in front of it, we've got laundry room 1 and 2. Okay, and then just like the kind of buffer room, if you will. Still haven't quite figured out what to do with the entirety of this hallway, but there it is. So then we get into the next section, and over here we're gonna have the that kind of TV room thing. Over here we've got the bathroom, so again buffer room here, and then the 3 toilets, and then over here on our far left, the same as before, the kitchen as well as the dining room. It's gonna be like one big area. I could even put the dining room on this side, but I don't think so. Upstairs, right? On this side of the staircase, we've got, again, same as before, the buffer room to the 3 toilets and the basin area to, brush teeth and do things like that, shave, whatever else. Then we've got the shower room. Now, this is kind of a bit of a weird layout. I'm not 100% happy with it, but at least on the external, it looks pretty decent. So I'm going to just go with it, take what we can get and deal with the rest. Then on our left side, we've got 3 rooms on this floor, room 1, 2, and 3, and then a big hallway. Yeah, we'll try to get some interesting things going. Maybe even like are they arcade machines? Man, I actually don't know. That would be a really great idea. Top floor, once again, 3 rooms, 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, nothing else can really fit up here. And we've just got the door that goes to the roof. Right. And I think that is it for like the general layout of all the rooms. So that means we need to start with the interior. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to do the kitchen just because I don't know, it seems like the easiest. So, let's see what we can come up with. Kitchen on the far wall here, and I think living area here where the big windows are. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So, anyways, let us begin. I don't think that there's anything else that I would like to add to the kitchen. Um, I really want to do some more light switches. I actually think they look kind of cool. It does feel like I'm kind of missing something somewhere. I'm not sure. I believe that's it for the kitchen. It should be enough for, you know, 6 Sims. Uh, it is possible to have more. Like I said, I think it's just 6 households. So that means you could have 8 per household, I believe. So in other words, that's too much. So I wouldn't recommend it, but um, it's definitely a big kitchen, and I think a lot of people can be here all at once. Another thing I added, which I really like, is this like vent going out. I've never really used it before, and I want to like try and use as many like grungy kind of things that I can in this build, just because it's supposed to be kind of industrial in a way. I want to see if we can do that. I The pipes are a really cool addition. I want to try and add a few more around the place. But let me know what you guys think about the whole theme or style that we're going for here. Very industrial, very raw bones, but I think it's gonna. I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. Hopefully, it's gonna be cool. So we'll see how that goes. So next, we're going to do the living area. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. We'll see. It's not as spacious as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Sometimes things are the way they are, and we just need to deal with it. Um, but yeah, seriously, I'm not so sure yet. I really, really wanted to use this coffee table because it just fits so perfectly, but it's a little bit big for such a small area. So we're probably going to get rid of that. And then also, this space here, the hallway, I actually don't want to leave empty, but I've got ideas for this hallway upstairs. So I don't want to really overdo it down here. All right, so I've finished the living room and just decided to also add some things off to the side here in the hallway. Nothing over the top, it's just somewhere people pass through. I've got this little table over here that just has basically like little sticky notes and I don't know, some CDs and whatnot. I think it's like a cool place if they wanted to write notes to each other, take out the trash. Who knows? Something like that. And I wanted to be kind of creative. I didn't really know what to do with this wall. And I don't feel like just putting pictures everywhere where there's an open wall. It feels like it gets a bit boring. So, anyways, I put the 2 light switches. I figured maybe like one for the hallway, one for the sitting room or something. And then I don't know, I put them in a frame. I think it kind of looks cool. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But, anyways, the next thing that we need to do after this hallway is this little bathroom area. So there's like 3 separate toilets and then just like kind of the little buffer room in between each one. I don't think it should be anything special, to be honest. So we're going to do that over there. And I thought in this corner or this little nook over here is going to be like some sort of storage room, with like cleaning supplies or something like that. It makes sense in my mind to have something like that. I do think I want to maybe add vacuums and stuff because then it gets dusty, right? Like it enables dust to actually start accumulating. And I think that could be fun for gameplay because what I also did was add a Roomba thing. And I don't know if that helps. Man, I need to learn more about actual gameplay because I don't know. I don't know if that will help with the dust accumulation, this little Roomba thing. It should. It would be stupid if it couldn't. Something else I wanted to do, but just didn't, was this like industrial pantry for a share house. It's kind of perfect, but then we lose like two open counters, and we're left with just one. And I feel like that doesn't work. So I'm not going to sacrifice functionality for aesthetics, at least not in this scenario. So, but anyways, enough talking. Yeah, I think it's time for me to just quickly do the bathrooms or toilets more specifically. As I mentioned, nothing special, really just like a toilet area. I've got everything I think these toilets would need, something to clean the place up with, a quick basin, just a singular one. So now we can finally jump over to our entrance and also what was this going to be? I kind of forgot. Um, right, okay, laundry area. This is the laundry area, right? Okay, so we can finally jump over to the entrance and the laundry area with its buffer room in between. Upstairs, no, okay. This is definitely the laundry area. So it would be cool to have an elevated platform in here, but it doesn't make sense to have the shoe rack on the higher elevation. It would usually be on the lower one, and we can't do a lower elevation, I think. Shoe area on this side, and to the left, I don't know, like mail, you can leave your mail or something. Oh, that reminds me, there's like a mail PO box thing, like this group mail PO box. So that's also something I want. So I've got this like whiteboard here close to the kitchen. So it's supposed to be a curfew. I don't think they'll use it. They're all adults, but it's kind of supposed to be just like, writing who takes the trash out on what day, something like that, like a schedule or whatever. And there's something similar that I want to put on this side, like a notice board. So we've got this one over here, which I think is pretty good. I might put it actually right here. We'll see. With that being said, let's get started. All righty. So I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything. I think we've done everything on the ground floor. I could be wrong. But anyways, if I do forget something, I'll just go back and edit, which I actually did in the kitchen. Just added some aprons, just FYI. And I changed the lighting also. It was like a little bit too yellow for me. So we finished off the ground floor. We've got our entrance. So let's start to the right. Hats, caps, jackets, bags, all those kinds of things here up on the wall. A spot for shoes and umbrellas as well. We've got a mirror, check yourself before you leave. And on this side, like another, I guess, storage compartment. And um, yeah, this little board which you mentioned in the beginning for, I don't know what, birthdays, important dates, whatever. And then just some, I guess, miscellaneous types of storage. It just looks nice, okay? No reason. Um, right, so then we go into the like laundry area, and I think it should function correctly. I'm gonna put laundry baskets in all the rooms. I don't know if it's necessary to have it in all the rooms, but I think it would help. So yeah, we've got the laundry area. On each side, there is the two washers and dryers stacked on each other, and just some like wall storage shelves for I don't know whatever purposes. And we've got our hallway leading to the stairs. Not too much going on, just like a bookshelf and this little box thing to do like decorations throughout the seasons and events and stuff. So I thought that would be quite cool. This thing apparently gives power, by the way, fully operational. So it does work. I'm not sure exactly what the gameplay around it is, the actual functionality, but it works. Just FYI. So if something breaks and your power goes out, it's probably this thing. And then just a storage area. So I added that pantry that I was going to do in the kitchen. I thought it could actually work quite well in here. That was a mouthful. and also the end of the ground floor, I believe. Oh, one other thing is I put like a cool vending machine outside just because I thought it would be cool. I don't know. Looks kind of cool, I think. You could always take it away, I guess. Next is going to be our second floor. And there's quite a bit to do here. We've got the first three rooms. We've got the shower area, more toilets, and also the like washroom, just like basins, brushing your teeth, stuff like that. And then this big hallway, which I said like I want to do something kind of interesting, like foosball tables, a couch, little reading area, or something like that. I'm not too sure. A cool place to maybe play some games, like card games. I think there's some cool objects that we can use for that. And then last floor, but we'll get there when we get there. So that's it for the ground floor. Let's go up to the next floor. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off perhaps this time by doing the toilet area and the showers and this buffer area in between. I almost forgot to mention because I just have to. But this little area here where the mirror is, this here, for some reason, just really makes me think of The Sims 2, like the create sim screen. Um, I know it's not exactly the same, but it just got me thinking of that, which gives it bonus points in my eyes. That is it for our showers and the toilets. It's kind of just following the same style as from before. Thought that was good enough. Just three toilets and then a little basin area, bin, all the necessities. And this is the like washroom place, I guess, like where you'd brush your teeth, shave, all those kinds of things. You wouldn't really be doing that over here. Our showers, kind of big, perhaps a bit too big, but it's okay. There's just like three washing areas, so two showers, and then like a shower bath thing. I thought that was Babs. Good use of that space, and also if there's just at least one bath, it's a good idea, I reckon. And then we've got our little hallway. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good here. Oh, this shouldn't be a boom. Okay, and then next, we'll probably do the three bedrooms. Maybe I'll do the hallway first. I'm not so sure. But the idea, at least for the rooms, are that I want to have like specific things are going to be consistent in all the rooms, like the bed frame, the desk that's in the room, and perhaps the chair, maybe like the office chair. But I'm going to try to also do it like very specific for each character, like the type of person that would be in that room. So we've got the three rooms here as well as the three upstairs. But first, we'll do these three and this hallway over here. I'm not sure what I want to do first. Maybe the hallway. I think I'm going to tackle the hallway. Um, I had this idea to use stuff like this, like really oversized, non functional things like that, and the big sign. But I'm not so sure yet. Something I also did, which I forgot to mention, was I removed that storage thing here and added this water heater because just like that electric fuse box under the stairs, this also has some functionality and provides warm water. So I just think all these like little gizmos and things ought to make some more interesting gameplay and also just like more things to think about. I know I do want to have like a lot of space here where people can kind of get together and do things like board games, card games, foosball, stuff like that. I think would be pretty cool to have. So we're going to fill this place up with a few of those things. All right, and there you have it. We are finished with our little hallway area, or I don't know what to call this place. It was a style that I wasn't quite expecting to go for, but as soon as I put in this phone booth, which by the way, I don't know if you can see the gnome in there, but it's just like perfect. But yeah, once I put in the phone booth and this thing on the wall, I think like immediately I knew kind of what style I want to go for. I'm really happy with the chairs here. They kind of make me think of Fallout for some reason, like Fallout 4. It's like Nuka Cola kind of vibes, rusted red chairs. Anyways, it looks really cool. I think it looks really cool. I was scared that maybe I overdid it with the neon signs, but like once everything came together, it looked pretty cool. So the only one I'm a little unsure of is this big one over here by the staircase, but I thought that just looked so cool. You guys should let me know what you think. If this is something that you think looks cool or is a little bit too much. I personally, I think it looks great. And I also added some of these fire extinguishers around the place, downstairs as well. Kind of forgot that maybe in a place like this, it's quite necessary to have, and they look cool as well. They really add to the aesthetic. I think in a share house, something like this piano, you wouldn't really find, not normally. It would just have too much potential to cause a bit of chaos and some irritation among the people staying there. So normally I don't think you'd find something like this, but hey, let's just kind of ignore that a bit and just enjoy the fact that it looks pretty cool here. And yes, there is a bicycle indoors just chilling there. I don't know. I thought it looked cool. Please don't use it. It's meant to be decorative, all right? Don't touch the bicycle. Leave it right there. And now, all that we've got to actually do is the three rooms here and upstairs as well. And then I guess this kind of little buffer room as well. But otherwise, I think that we are nearing the end, getting real close to finished. So next up is our three rooms. And as I mentioned before, we're going to have kind of some consistency in terms of like the desk, the bed frame, and perhaps the cupboard as well. Just because, you know, people wouldn't be expected to bring their own bed frame and stuff. It would be supplied. And seeing as it's supplied, it's probably going to be consistent. So we're going to keep that the same, but then try to make the rooms as unique as possible beyond that. We'll do room by room. I really wanted to do a cool character sheet for you guys, like have characters, like introduce them and something, but unfortunately, I'm just too behind and that's going to take quite a while to do. Hopefully, that would be something in the future that we could do. Let me know in the comments if you think that that is something that you would like to see, character sheets or, like character introductions for the people that live in the houses so that you can kind of see, who I had in mind as I made the house, because that often influences, the style and the look of the house quite a great deal. Update on the same furniture idea. The big problem is that changing the covers generally also means changing the style of the bed frame. And in most cases, there isn't really that many with the same color frame. Done and dusted. So that is all six rooms. I was about to say three, all six rooms finished. So our first room is like kind of a botanist room. And to be honest, this room in particular, I'm not so sure of its purpose. I just thought it would be very cool to have someone who has this room that's completely filled with lots of plants and things. So, yeah, botanist. Next room is like someone who likes fishing and photography, right? So, like a photographer's room. So, we got lots of pictures and just a lot of camera gear and a nice laptop to, like edit photos and things like that. Next, we have the artist room. And by the way, as you noticed as well, I've used completely different furniture in each one, beds and all. Even though I said I was going to kind of try and stick to the same stuff, but I realized that that just isn't going to work. Artist room, a lot of like sketch work, like practice art, I guess, on the walls. Nice big mirror, same one that's in the botanist room, actually, except this one's got the extra painting stacked in front of it, kind of like a gamer room. So yeah, I guess someone who like streams or makes videos or something like that. Very cool background, I think. If you've got a camera, it's gonna catch like I don't know. If you ask me, this is a really cool background to have. I quite like it. So we've got some storage space, some shelves here right above the computer, and a little bag by the table. And next we have the knitter's room and the sewer's room. whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, it's quite pinkish and colorful and pastel colors. Um, yeah. And lastly, we've got, the fitness geek or whatever you call it, someone who really likes exercising, perhaps does some sport or something like that. So those are our 6 rooms. And I believe that is that. All right. And that is everything done. And I've quickly also just gone around and added some touch ups to the exterior because we kind of just left it off at like a awkward looking place. So now I think it just looks a little bit more complete, much nicer. And we are finished. I don't think I have forgotten everything, but just to be safe, let's also go and do our usual overhead view. We've got the entrance over here leading to the laundry room, and then to the left of our entry, we've got the hallway going with the stairs, and then beyond that is our more public space living area. We've got the living room and the kitchen as well as the dining room. Going upstairs, we've got our large living space here. Lots of cool and fun things to do: foosball, cards, music. I think just a cool place overall for everyone to come together and hang out. On the right side, we've got like our shared facilities, showers, toilets, and the washroom. And we've also got our 3 bedrooms on this floor. And then going to our last floor at the top, we've got the gym junkie or whatever you call them, gym rat. We've got a knitter, also don't really know what to call them. And then we've got like the gaming slash streamer type of person. Now, before we finish off, usually we would be done here, right? But this isn't just a house. What we need to do is change this into a residential rental. And now that we have set it up as a residential rental, we can go and assign each room. So we'll start off on this side. Right, so we have 6 units and the rest is all shared space and then just our 6 separate rental units. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. And remember to drop a like and leave a comment. I always appreciate some feedback and new ideas. But this is going to be it from me for now, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Moses, getting ready to bounce.